Fourth section, ringo.
I lie awake, and they look down on me. They look past me, and they do not see me. But they turn to one another, and they say back and forth how natural I look lying there, as if it is something I had done my entire life. Lying awake, they talk about me, and their comments all seem to paraphrase one another's. Lying awake, my neighbor asks, "Why did he go to Morocco anyway?" And he tips a cigar ash onto my suit, my favorite suit, the one I am wearing. But I do not wipe it off. I do not want to scare him. Lying awake, there is priestly mumble over my ears, Dominus vobiscum et cum spiri tuo, and I know exactly what it means. As my mother cries, and she asks herself, like she's asking me, what is it like on the other side? And if I could, I would tell her. Over here, there is more ethnic food than there are nationalities, so no one ever goes hungry. Over here, there is more money than you can imagine, and everyone has some, which they attach with clothespins to the spokes of their bicycles, so that when they ride, it makes this fluttery sort of noise. Over here, everyone goes for leisurely drives, because there is never any place that you need to be. Over here, watches are strictly ornamental, and people only ask you what time it is in order to start a more intelligent conversation. Over here, it rains with the sun shining, and the weather is discussed endlessly. First it is discussed from one point of view, and then from the other.
Our last reader in this first section of the open, before we get to Mary Clifton and the features, will be Daniel Sterne. I just want to point out, each month we put together a listing, so it's a poetry listing, with some interesting stuff inside, our monthly calendar of events. And I want to point out that Daniel Sterne, our next reader, has his poems on the outside this month. And I'd like to just invite anyone that would like to have poems on December or following months, see me after the reading. Okay, our next reader in the open, Daniel Sterne.
This poem is called Seaweed, and it's a revision of the same poem that I read a number of weeks ago. I hope I've made it smoother and flow more easily. It's about buying a painting in Rockport, and I was kind of overly excited about the prospective value of this painting. I went so far as to call it Sotheby's. So it's kind of an amusing background here. It's called Seaweed. I smell oregano, lobster, in December, drifting from the gallery, an open safe. The painter's heart is close, beating redly through the room and returning to the painter. A sailor with a mast still in his spine. He hears me, though he's deaf as the sky. He doesn't want to sell, but he takes me to a painting, green like a tortoise. The painter turns his back, and it's a living shell. Something's growing inside my harsh body. Split my wooden soul. I struggle to caress the python when I try to cry. I look at me, a glass, and try to crack it. I place my clear body in another hand. I push his hand under my mud to bones that swim through his body. Glazed, I come out pregnant. I'll describe, it's about therapy, basically. Okay. Something's growing inside my harsh body. split my wooden soul. I struggle to caress the python when I try to cry. I look at me, a glass, and try to crack it. I place my clear body in another hand. I push his hand under my mud to bones that swim through his body. Glazed, I come out pregnant.
Would you explain?
Yeah, maybe it's not clear.
Sounds like you have a snake inside you.
Yeah, it's basically about coming to grips with kind of a sort of with the inner self and trying to overcome one's difficulties inside oneself.
Right, I know what you mean.
This one is called Sharp Love. A knife is brutal as lipstick on a woman's mouth. When we kiss, we float on the edge of our mouths. I lick her like a cat. After a while, she opens her vagina. I slide all the way in. She greets me like a very good friend. We have to relearn the alphabet. I thrust until we both exclaim on the point of a knife. This one, as I wrote last night, is about a dream that I had, and I was upset by it. It's called A Yellow Grin. Death is like a trolley car. It leers to pick me up. It sets me down in paradise and smiles like the sun. And finally, the title is a reference to a section of a poem by Keats. Ah, for a cool draught. Sometimes I'd like to be a woman, breasting through the masculine vine. I'd like to swish my legs like a filly, drink from manly waters, and gulp his eyes in mine. Thank you.